search for broken bones. Fracturing blaster. Let's get rid of splinters. Let's clean with mist places where the splinters were. Cuttings must be tied up with those. Let's put a plaster on the problem places. Let's check the patient's temperature. I knew that. Take a pill urgently. Put ice to the problem place. Good job! Interesting. Who needs my help today? Hello, what are you saying? Somebody was hit by a car?
If you want to buy a full version of the game with both
If you want to buy a full version of the game with patient has a lot of injuries. Serious assessment and urgent treatment are needed here. Use scanner machine to search for broken bones. More. Let's put the fracturing blaster. Cuttings must be tied up with those. Let's put a plaster on the problem places. Good job! Interesting. Who needs my help today? search for broken bones. More. Let's put the fracture in plaster. Let's get rid of splinters. Let's cleanse with mist places where the splinters were. Cuttings must be tied up with bows. Let's put plaster on the problem places. Let's take the patient's temperature. I knew that. Take a pill urgently. Put ice to the problem place. Good job. Interesting. Who needs my help today? Hello, what are you saying? An accident in the city?
Same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
Full version of it.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
Patient is stuck in the trash bin. Help
This
the
much we
patient.
pledge
Move
and
the
more.
two to the trash bin.
To those old allies
Move the two over the
whose
cut
cultural
line.
and spiritual origins we share, we pledge the loyalty of faithful
The
friends.
problem is solved.
United, there is little we cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures.
Interesting. Who needs my help
Divided, there is little we can do. For we dare not meet a powerful challenge at odds.
Hello, what are you
Split
saying?
asunder.
An accident in the city?
To those new states whom we welcome to the ranks of the free, we pledge our word
If you want
that
to buy a
one
full
form
version,
of colonial control shall not have passed away, merely to be replaced by a far more iron tyranny. We shall not always expect to find them supporting our view, but we shall always hope to find them strongly supporting their own freedom, and to remember that in the past, those who foolishly sought power by riding the
It
back of
seems
the
that
tiger.
patient is under the
and
power
the
of evil
side.
forces. Before healing, we need the help of a real shaman. Tap the screen.
To those people in the huts and villages of half the globe struggling to break the bonds of mass misery, we pledge our best efforts to help them help themselves for whatever period is required, not because the communists may be doing it, not because we seek their votes, but because it is right. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. To our sister republics south of our border, we offer a special
The
pledge
problem is solved.
to convert our good words into good deeds. In a new alliance
Who needs
for
my help
progress,
today?
to assist free men and free governments in casting off the chains of poverty.
Hello, what are you saying?
But this
An accident
peaceful
in the city?
revolution of hope cannot become the prey of hostile powers. Let all our
If
neighbors
you want to buy
know
a full version of the game,
that we shall join with them to oppose aggression or subversion anywhere in the Americas. And let every other power know that this hemisphere intends to remain the master of its own house. To that World Assembly of Sovereign States, the United Nations, our last best hope, in an age where the instruments of war have far outpaced the instruments of peace, we renew our pledge of support to prevent it from becoming merely a forum for invective, to strengthen its shield of the new and the weak, and to enlarge the area in which its writ may run. Finally, to those nations who would make themselves our adversary, we offer not a pledge, but a request that both sides begin anew the quest for peace. Before the dark powers of destruction, unleashed by science, engulf all humanity in planned or accidental self-destruction, we dare not tempt them with weakness, for only when our arms are sufficient beyond doubt can we be certain beyond doubt that they will never be employed. But neither can two great and powerful groups of nations take comfort from our present course, both sides overburdened by the cost of modern weapons, both rightly alarmed by the steady spread of the deadly atom, yet both racing to alter that uncertain balance of terror that stays the hand of mankind's final war. So let us begin anew, remembering on both sides that civility is not a sign of weakness, and sincerity is always subject to proof. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Let both sides explore what problems unite us, instead of belaboring those problems which divide us. Let both sides, for the first time, formulate serious and precise proposals for the inspection and control of arms,
The problem is
and
solved.
bring the absolute power to destroy other nations under the absolute
Interesting.
control
Who needs my
of
help
all
today?
nations. Let both sides seek to invoke the wonders of science instead of its terror.
Hello, what are you saying?
Together,
Somebody
let
fell out
us
of the
explore
window?
the stars, conquer the desert, eradicate disease, tap the ocean depths, and encourage the arts and commerce. Let both sides unite to heed in all corners of the earth the command of Isaiah to undo the heavy burden and let the oppressed go free. And if a beachhead of cooperation may push back the jungle of suspicion, let both sides join in creating a new endeavor, not a new balance of power, but a new world of law, where the strong are just and the weak secure and the peace preserved. All this will not be finished in the first 100 days, nor will it be finished in the first 1,000 days, nor in the life of this administration, nor even perhaps in our lifetime on this planet. But let us begin. In your hands, my fellow citizens, more than mine, will rest the final success or failure of our course. Since this country was founded, each generation of Americans has been summoned to give testimony to its national loyalty. The graves of young Americans who answered the call to service around the globe. Now the trumpet summons us again, not as a call to bear arms, though arms we need, not as a call to battle, though in battle we are, but a call to bear the burden of a long twilight struggle, year in and year out, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, a struggle against the common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself. Can we forge against these enemies a grand and global alliance, north and south, east and west, that can assure a more fruitful life for all mankind? Will you join in that historic effort? In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world,
we need to get rid of all odd objects.
what
Move the
America
player
will
to
do
the
for
tray.
you, but what together we can
Headphones
do
are
for the
stuck
freedom
in the
of man.
ears of the patient. Remove them.
Finally, whether you are citizens of America
Tell me so.
or citizens of the world, ask of us here
Interesting.
the
Who needs my
same
help
high
today?
standards of strength and sacrifice which we ask of you. With a good
Hello, what are
conscience,
you saying? Somebody
our
was hit
only
by a
sure
car?
reward
If you want to buy a full version